Okay, so I'm gonna hit that go live there. It's not even letting me. Excuse me.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make a new thing on Facebook.
Let me see if it'll. Take the thing off my face. Have a box around my face. Steve.
What?
The focus things around my face.
Oh, no.
All right. Oh, so the whole time they see the little. Okay. All right. Now we're live. Let me see what happened over here. Let me go. Oh, there it goes. Well, crap. So we need to have somebody monitor the shit because. All right, sorry that those of us who tuned in. It's 7:13 now. We have been talking for the last 12 minutes to each other. I clicked go live and something happened and it didn't go live, and then I kept getting warnings, but I was ignoring them. So yeah, you missed the whole Book of Mormon story. Sorry about that. Anyway, disclaimer: if you're offended easily and don't want to listen to vulgar and shit and fart jokes, now would be a good time to stop listening. We don't intentionally set out to do that. That's usually where I end up going. But we also try to keep that to a minimum in the first like 3 to 5 minutes or so. That's like the guidelines for the policy for Facebook and YouTube. So I've never looked into Facebook's actually. I've looked at YouTube's. YouTube you can't in the last like the first like 2 to 3 minutes, something like that. But yeah, I'm kind of at a loss now.
Yeah, well, we could do more ASMR chewing. Or
I'm curious on how good that sounds because it tastes delicious.
Let's see what's next. So
and we're eating pizza as well.
Let's just move forward with the next topic.
Oh, so to catch up, the book that I said I was going to look up.
Damn, homie. Jesus.
There we go. I was snagged. I couldn't move stuff around. It was caught under the thing. So the book that my grandfather was in, I didn't look that. Or I didn't go get that. I know it's in the garage somewhere, but I got to dig through.
That he was in or that he wrote?
He was in the book. He's okay. He'd already passed away before the book was written and published. But I won't go into it, but the story that I was raised on from him made him, just like a chill dude. But the book, I prefer the book version of my grandpa. But I want to promote the book just to throw the guy a bone because he took time to do it. I prefer his story. It makes my grandfather immortally a badass. And so I want to keep that one. But I forgot to look that one up, so I apologize for that. And the other, and the deep fake porn, which you can't really get into now, live links. And yeah, that was kind of where we're going. I lost my whole train of thought because we were talking for 12 minutes and then and it kept giving me the warning saying it wasn't on Facebook, and I kept looking at it, but again, I don't pay attention to that. I need to start paying more attention to that when people comment and stuff. So let me bring that up and click on that. So
you saw, but you didn't see.
Right. And even though the screen that I use is on the other side of the room, well, halfway, it's probably, say, about 6 feet away from me. It's the same screen that's right here in front of him. So while he's talking shit about me, he's literally staring into a computer that's actually the control. Everything's coming through his system. So if you want to get technical, it's the white man's fault. Again, I don't know how it all comes around to that, but
I'm not liable.
No, but okay. So we are the Wearded Beirdos, and so beard cream, beard culture, and all that stuff is kind of our thing. And I was going to talk about this particular product early on, but I totally forgot about it. But it's Duke Cannon Supply Company. It's News Anchor Fiber Pomade. Stronger hold, matte finish, and it says your hair is a weapon. I think it's overpriced. I think it stinks. I don't know what a news anchor smells like, but if that's what they smell like, it's horrible. And it's more like a news anus. But it's very strong. One of the reasons why I kind of avoid creams to begin with, right? That's a very strong.
That is like,
yeah, it's overkill. And it doesn't say even what the smell is. And so when you buy it, it doesn't say it smells.
That's divorced country club right there.
And it lasts a long time. So normally when you put on like a cologne or something and you go about your day, you don't remember the smell of the cologne. Like you don't even think you have it on. And like 10 hours later, it's like, oh, you smell amazing. Like, oh, I totally forgot about it because
that shit fucking reeks.
Yeah, it stays on your face. And now it's more so with the mask and having that on, like it just
consumes. For your face or for your hair?
It's a beard cream. It's a pomade.
Pomade's for your hair usually.
Yeah, my beard hair.
Oh. I was gonna say, what the hell are you getting pomade for? You have fucking hair.
I don't know. Or either way, I don't want my hair smelling like that. It's all the same product. Because you have lanolin for superior hold, beeswax for the shine, and
yeah, I couldn't put something on my face with that strong of an aroma. I mean, I like, mild scents, and not like spicy cologne flavors either. Like I like not even sandalwood, but just really mild scents. I really
like sandalwood's not bad.
It's still very perfumey,
but it's like this is, and I use it probably. How I just keep using it, and I haven't used it for a while. And this is the first time I've opened it since I probably haven't used it for about 2 weeks. And I stopped using it when I wanted to use it. So probably 2 episodes ago, I wanted to talk about it because it's like $12.99 at Target.
Yeah.
And so as far as the hold and the way it looks, it's fantastic. It's not over shiny, like it's got a matte finish. So I get it. That works. The strong hold, like it keeps, it's all there. I can put the mask on, take the mask off, and I really don't have to worry about it that much. But the smell is with you all day. And even at night, I'm like, man, I need to go wash my face off because it's overbearing.
Why don't you use the stuff that's up there on the shelf, saving that for the giveaway?
Yeah, I haven't opened any of those actually. I think the only thing that I opened was one of the.
Because I know there is a balm in there that I remember was pretty decent.
Are you talking about the ones up top?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna keep it like for giveaways and stuff, but I haven't even really used the shampoo either.
Beard shampoo is a very niche product. I mean, you really got to be into beard care to actually have its own. To go out, buy a beard shampoo and a beard conditioner. I mean, rather than just using soap or Head and Shoulders, whatever.
Well, I've never had enough length to where I thought that I could just lather it. Like, to me, like your beard when we first met was a big beard. So like a beard like that, yeah, I would think about conditioning and all that stuff. But yeah, this soap is just fine because I do use and it wasn't until we started doing and thinking about the podcast that I started, focusing on different types of beard products. But this was purchased for me, and the smell is it's overbearing. I like the hold, I like the texture. What I use is it's basically like bedhead. I think that's that product, something like that. It's like a little yellow container like that, and it works perfectly fine. A little bit of a smell when you first put it on, but that's just the chemicals and the lanolin and the beeswax that's in it. But it fades almost instantly, and there's no residual. Or this, I would smell it all day long, which kind of blew my mind. That's why it became annoying.
Yeah, I think they made the mistake of thinking that guys want their hair cream to also be their cologne.
Right. But if that was the case, then Burberry and Guess and all those companies would go into the beard scent market.
Yeah, I've tried a few beard creams that just didn't work for me. There's one called, what is it called? Lumberyard, and it's just, and you'd think it's going to be good, and it's just cedar. All it is, it has cedar oil in it. It's kind of like a thicker, greasy. It's like kind of like the consistency of lard. It's a grease.
It's not.
And it has like sawdust in it. It's got like grit to it, which for putting in the beard is good, But the smell, like you take the lid off, you smell it at the store, and you're like, wow, it smells like fucking cedar. But then you have it on your face, that scent does not fade. And then you smell like a pile of sawdust.
The lumberjack the whole time. Yeah, like I don't want that all day long because then you're kind of stuck to it. Then you're committed to that smell. And then what if you decide you do get something different? Like the cologne that I wear is strategic, and I enjoy it to the point that I don't even like to talk about the name of the cologne because I don't want other people smelling like it.
Yeah, see, the cedar stuff would be good if it was a very light cedar smell, and that you could barely detect after 15 minutes. Just you could only smell it if you got really close to the person or something. But this stuff, I'm telling you, people could smell you coming with this cedar stuff. It was pungent. I still have it. I only used it about 2 or 3 times.
Let me smell it.
Yeah, lumberyard.
Let me smell how you used to smell, Steve.
There's my favorite beard cream still to this day. I can't remember the scent, but it's Shea Moisture brand, and it's kind of a grease. It's not like a pomade type waxy product. It's
well, this is not too the consistency. I enjoy the consistency. Like outside the smell, I would rock it all day because when I put it on, I really enjoyed it. Because I like a drier. When I put it on, I want to be able to see it so I know the coverage. That's the best part of having like a dark beard. So what I use now, I rub my put a little bit in my hand, rub it down my face, and then I can see that it's white. And then within 30 seconds, my beard will absorb it, and then I'll comb it through and leave it at that, and then it holds and it sticks there. And any straggler hairs, I'll trim off with the clippers and stuff like that. I enjoy the consistency, but it's overbearing. So I dropped the ball, and there's not even a scent label on it. So I don't know if I buy another, like if I can get the same brand, but without a smell. And for $12.99, I'll never, because 4.6 ounces. This will last me a long time. So value wise, yeah, we're getting a lot, but I mean, you can get the same thing out of like the balms that are up there. They're just smaller, and I use very little.
Beard products are too expensive, as a rule, are just overpriced.
Because it's popular now.
Mm-hmm.
Like Old Spice made a comeback because of it. No one used Old Spice.
I used Old Spice. I didn't use the cologne. I used the deodorant.
Right, but my grandpa used to have the hair tonic and all that stuff, and then the aftershave and also before cologne, aftershave was pretty much the same thing, but you would shave and splash that on and go on about your day. But now there's full blown products of Old Spice that take up considerable shelf space. Where when I was a kid, it was just kind of your grandpa used the Old Spice. Yeah,
my grandpa had that bottle. God, it has that unique shape. It's
like a teardrop type shape. Yeah. A little tiny hole at the top and a little screw cap on it. Yeah. So
it's just that generic fucking old man smell.
Generic old man. That is in grandma's mothball. So here's the product from Target, just as a reference. So if anybody's interested and enjoys that, I'm not a fan. I didn't leave a review. It has 5 stars, 315 reviews. But again, for its price, I would say no. So
if you're single and 55, go ahead and rock it.
Oh, all day. You can't go wrong then. Like literally.
Nothing against 55-year-olds, but
I'll be there in 10 years.
They have a collective smell. Because they're all trying to dress up. They want to dress so that they feel young, but look established and smell the same.
Right. Because they're demographic for their age. The widows of that generation are expecting a certain thing from a man.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Members only jackets. And
so the men that age that are established already have women in their circles that have probably been waiting for the wife to die for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just that one. It's kind of like the mother in 2.5 Men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like there. You know what's going on. She's in the know. and then swings in as soon as something goes wrong. I
Yeah.
remember,
Yeah, but she's there to console you at first.
right?
She's gonna cry tears on your penis.
Let me go ahead and make you some dinner, and don't worry about that. Just pretend I'm not here.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, she keeps a little bottle of Viagra in her purse.
You ever use that?
I got some fake Viagra. I don't know if it worked. It's not like, from what I read, it just makes it easier for you to get an erection. It doesn't like give you one instantly. It just, you have to be aroused to get it.
Like normal.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't know if it was working or if I got bad shit. Because the fake ones are cheaper.
Did you perform every time as needed while you were taking the pill?
At the time, no, it didn't work because I was getting it to combat what's the word?
Homosexuality?
No, fuck you. What's the word for so I was combating chemically induced erectile dysfunction. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, which, and it didn't help, but I was really fucked up. I don't know that anything would have helped. I kind of want to get some Cialis, but buying Cialis on the Tor network it's kind of expensive. Same with Viagra, and nobody's in stock with Viagra. That's why I got the fake stuff too. It's not only cheaper, but it's.
Can't you just get a regular prescription? I'm sure you could get a demo. Like, why would you have to go on the?
Could
That
but
doesn't seem like a product that I would need to get on the down though.
I don't know. Well, I just don't. I'm fucking 29. I don't want to go see a fucking proctologist and tell him I can't get my dick hard. It's easier for me to just buy it online than it is to.
Can't you go to Roman.com now or whatever? You know what they sell?
Yeah, you know what? That's a good idea. I mean, I still have that bottle of fake stuff if you want to try some.
That's the thing. I wouldn't know
if it was working.
Yeah, because I have no issue in that department. Like, if I'm thinking about something else, my mind's wandering, then yes. But eventually, in the moment, like, oh yeah, but it's going down. But at any given moment, I can be sitting around like, oh my god, like Jesus Christ, go to sleep. I'm trying to watch.
Yeah,
trying to watch Netflix.
From what I read, that you got to arouse yourself for it to get hard. Even while you're on the Viagra, you got to arouse yourself to get hard, and it goes away after you've finished your business.
So like normal.
Yeah, so it's not like, because I always imagined it like you take it, you get a rock hard stiffy, and it lasts for a couple hours and doesn't go away no matter what.
Yeah, that was my vision too. Up until now, you ruined. In my mind, it's like, okay, even if when the day comes when my testosterone dips so low that I need it. Sorry for chewing. I always have Viagra or Cialis to fall back on. But then, like, I had no idea you had to warm it up too. Well, So is it more psychological? Because, like, oh, I took this pill, which could easily be a placebo. I don't know. Then you're going down, you start playing with yourself, like, oh, this pill's gonna make this rock hard, and you think, oh, I'm gonna do all this, and mentally you think, man, I'm gonna have the raging hard on, and then you get a raging hard on, you thinking it's the pill, so now you keep taking the pill for everyone. It was just you getting excited of the possibility of having a rock hard penis.
I don't know. I only took it when I was getting high, and the time I did take it, I was too high to really do anything. And yeah, I couldn't even focus. I couldn't focus on anything. So there was no way.
So it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, there was. I had taken too much at the time, so, and it didn't work against that. So, and I haven't taken it since because I figured, if it doesn't work against, what I'm taking, then there's no point in taking it.
Does that have an expiration date?
No, this is something that a guy in fucking Las Vegas is pressing.
What I'm saying is, it's still good because I'll try it just to see.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
just out of curiosity. I don't have it. Like, again, like it's one thing I always brag about it, but it's one thing I don't have an issue. I've never had an issue.
And then again, they are counterfeit, so they might not even be real. I mean, it's not that they're not real. It might not even have an active ingredient. It could be just nothing. It might, So I have no way of really figuring out what is in it.
Right.
All I have to go by is the reviews on the guys.
And how much it cost you?
I don't know, $40.
Ooh. You got $40 out of you. You get...
Yeah, I just went by the reviews. Everyone said like, oh yeah, it's a little weak. Got to take about, instead of 2, you got to take 3 or 4.
I think you only got to sell 100 bottles a month, and you got a full-time income.
Yeah, when I purchased from him this time, he had sold out, and he had needed to produce more before he could send me some.
That's crazy.
And he did have name brand Cialis, real Cialis, but it was outrageously expensive, and I was like, "There's no way," because I wasn't going to buy a $80 prescription or $100 prescription. I think it was over $100 for one, because
one pill?
For one outing. This was for one go out and get fucked up weekend.
That would come in handy during the casual encounter era.
Yeah, there's always there's still Adult Friend Finder.
Is that really active? You got to pay for that, right?
There's a free version, but yeah, if you want to actually communicate with other people, you got to fucking pay.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can meet some. Yeah. As long as you got a bag, you're bound to find something.
There was the days of Craigslist and before sex trafficking shut them down, which I don't think.
Well, it's because of Backpage.
As much as, oh yeah, I didn't know what a QV was until my buddy.
QV?
A quick visit.
Okay.
My buddy had to explain it to me because he would joke. We were just talking about stuff like QV. But yeah, I don't know the lingo because nothing I've ever.
Yeah, I've never
paid for it.
Yeah, me neither. It's just a turnoff.
Because if I pay for it, I'm expecting world-class service.
And I'm not wearing a fucking condom.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like, if I'm gonna be paying for it, it's gotta
I'm going fucking in raw.
Yes. And nowadays, you I'm in my 40s, so if I paid for it and I got AIDS today, I would still live a decent life. Life expectancy of a black man's like 65 or 68 or something like that. So that'd be good. Without having to take all the drugs and all that stuff. But at your age, I would be hesitant. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, like.
Well, just having the whole transaction part of it, like, oh yeah, here's the money. I know you don't want to fuck me, but you're going to.
Right.
Here's the money.
And I gotta think.
Now pretend like you like this.
And that's the thing there too, because yeah, you've got to deliver. Like you
know that they're not doing it for fun. That's what turns me off. They're not doing it for fun.
Right. And that's why I've never been.
They're not fucking you because they want to fuck you.
I've been to strip clubs. I've never had a lap dance. Because I know, yeah, I don't give into the illusion. I'll go there, we'd be their buddies, and you just sit there and they're just having the time of their life. And in that moment, she's crushing it and then gets up, goes to the next dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how do you give into that fantasy? Because like they should get Oscars. They're some of the best actresses in the world. Because you'll sit there and watch like, wow, she's really into this dude that's covered in in ravioli and all this stuff, wearing jogging pants, and he's obviously gonna poke you in your thigh, and they just walk up to him and then get up and do it to the next guy. You don't know that, you assume that's staying.
Amazing acting. They can just flick it on. Yeah, never had the. I've been horny and desperate and alone before, but never to the point where I'm like, I'm gonna go find a hooker and I'm gonna fuck. I'll just have to pay for it.
Yeah.
To me, it's just like that, all that effort and not getting it the way that I want to get it, under the,
and where do we go?
Under the terms.
Right.
Oh, there's places. But I'd rather fucking jack off. If I'm going to, that's free.
Yeah.
And no one knows me better than me.
Right. If you have a pet, they'll clean it up. But it's one of those things where you said there's places, but where do you start? Because I watch Cops and like that. It's like the biggest fear of that is getting caught. Because that's a game changer. That's a sex offense. If you get caught making that transaction.
Well,
and so that's going to haunt you for the rest of your life. And if you're married or whatever, that's even worse.
well, see, you know, as a John, you're probably only likely to get picked up in a sting if you're actually going downtown and picking up streetwalkers, which those are the ones who are most likely, you know, being pimped out, you know, against their will. There's probably some human trafficking elements going on, so they're going to try and stem the you know, that with stings. And so I would be hesitant to do it that way, because the last thing I want is to end up on an episode of Cops, you know, in a hotel room with a pinhole camera.
Right. Like, no, we were just I was trying to hang out with her because I was, like the guys thought it was lies. No, it's my friend. I was giving her a ride to the grocery store.
Yeah. There's fuck that. But no, I would say there's definitely online forums still. You can go find somebody, you know, get their rate, tell them where you live.
So things like that exist on like Reddit?
No, I think there's
just Craigslist and Plenty of Fish are my only stomping grounds.
There's dedicated forums, there's other classified places that people can post.
Are we on the tour? Or are you
No, this is just on the ClearNet.
Okay, we'll post that in the description later on.
There's definitely still places that these girls can post. Backpage was just the one making all the money doing it.
Right.
And, you know, they're making money fucking worldwide. This isn't just like a local classifieds website. You know, this is they were hauling in some serious fucking cash. But, you know, I think a lot of people got fucked because there were other classifieds in the Backpage. It wasn't just, you know, for women.
Well, that was my thing with Craigslist. Like, you took off a whole section. And I think we're all adults. Like, we should be able to. That's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking for. Because it's one of those things. Like we were talking, there's always, no matter how desperate you are, there's always another person that's looking for you. And Craigslist was maybe the easy way to go. Maybe there's a way they could have maybe made it a paid service or something like that, or maybe protect it a little bit more. But to get rid of it altogether, I think
Backpage, like Craigslist, was a classified site. You know, it was a place where people would go list goods and services. Now, Backpage got federally indicted. They're not even control. Oh yeah, the FBI seized their stuff, and they're even boycotted by all the credit card companies. But yeah, they didn't even control who was posting or where.
What was the credit card for? They were just charging roses.
Oh no, you had to pay to post though. You know what I'm saying?
I'm joking.
Yeah, but you know, they weren't explicitly seeking, you know, this, you know, sex workers to post on their site.
This just happened.
Yeah, that's where people went. And I think when they got indicted, Craigslist saw that, like, okay, here's, you know, an entity that's being indicted for the crimes of its users. And all that traffic is about to come to our site. Now, how are we going to protect ourselves?
That makes sense. Yeah, because where else would they go? Because I knew of Backpages only because of conversations, but at no point did I ever go on Backpages.
I think I had maybe been there once just to
Craigslist was I was shown. We were taking national boards. The guy I was sharing the room with, he had talked about it, and like, "Are you serious?" And we went and looked, and like he was showing me, like, but I had no idea that it was really a thing. But that makes sense at Craigslist, because it was all of a sudden one day. Sorry, guys, and now you'll still, if you go on, what they have still up, they have
misconnection.
There it is.
Misconnection.
And they're in there
in the community tab. You know, I looked. I think they're getting pretty good about flagging that shit, because the last time I was in the community or misconnections tab, not a single rogue casual encounter style post. Not one.
Well, they would flag even regular ads back when it was
Mm-hmm.
still there. Because remember, I would. So to go back to the live links, I don't even know if it is even still around.
I think it is. I think it is.
So those of you who aren't in the know, live links was like a chat line, and you would call it was free for women, but dudes would have to like pay for time, and it's all on the telephone. You call into like and then if you listen to people's, you leave a greeting. You listen to the greeting. If you liked it, you hit a button, go on to the next one. If you liked it, you could hit towards the end, they had like a quick connect, but that costs. Well, I guess I think it was the same price, but it burned your time up. So you tried to be as quick as possible, and you'd go through all the women as fast as possible to listen to who was on it. Oh, no one that sounded interesting, so you'd log off.
So you'd listen to pre-recorded voicemails.
Yeah. So when you log on, you're like, "Welcome to Live Links, blah blah. This is this."
And you get a little short bio, like,
And-
"Hi, I'm Linda. I'm 46, and
Yeah.
I'm white, and whatever."
Like a voicemail, and you'd leave that, and then as the other side, I would go through and hit the button, and it would say, "Hi, I'm Linda. This and this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm looking for." And if you didn't like their voice, automatically you just click the next one, and that would go. And then they were listening to yours on the same side. And then if they liked your voice, they would hit a button and they could send you a private message. And then you could have conversations back and forth as you're going through. And so you'd be listening, all of a sudden, boom, so-and-so sent you a message. And they would say something, and you would kind of go back and forth until you developed.
So women talk free,
Yeah.
men pay.
Right.
Genius. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's still up. I mean, there's still.
What's the price per minute? I never paid for it. So here's the thing. So when I discharged from the Army, I was in Colorado Springs. My first job was with Starving Sergeants, which was a moving company. And I don't think they're even around anymore. So anyway, so I would go to the person's house that we were picking up their stuff, and a lot of them still had their phone number. And then I would go to the house that they were dropping their stuff off, and they would have a phone number. And so when I would go to this house and that house, you would quick type in the number, and you get for each phone number, you get a free 30-minute trial. And so I'll go to every time I go to these homes, if I would go to the grocery store or wherever I would go, I'd have access to the phone. Like, hey, can I use your phone right quick? And I would go in, I'd punch in the thing and get their free code. And so I was using it for hours and hours and hours on a weekend.
You were a Live Links addict.
Oh, it's actually pretty addicting. And then just it's almost like Russian roulette. And this is before the internet was really, really big. Because back then you didn't get it. Like no one could send you a picture because text messaging and like cell phones weren't even out yet. So the internet was out, but it was very, very, very new. Most people, you maybe had a Yahoo.
Yeah, and you got fucking dial-up. It takes 10 minutes for a site to load.
Yeah, like web TV, which is blowing my mind that web TV didn't really go anywhere. But the web TV was like $100 and it'll get you on the internet. But this is before the internet was big. And so live links was kind of the only other way, that and nightclubs. And which is funny, I was driving around the other day when I was thinking about this conversation. I was like, man, I put myself at risk so much. And same on their side. There's no way now I would go into a stranger's home in the middle of the night.
No, to fuck?
Yeah, in general. Like you invite me over, hey, I need you to come over and pick this up. I'm good. I'll see you tomorrow. We can meet somewhere. And at no point did I ever have a bad experience, but you look back like, wow, I could have been chopped up. It's probably because I watch all these damn documentaries now on the streaming services. And what people do, like one guy, he was caught in like 2012, but he'd been an active serial killer and rapist for like 14 years when he got caught. The only reason he got caught because he made one mistake. Only because he pretty much shat where he eat.
Yeah.
And so that's how he got caught. But before, he was like one of the ones he confessed to was somewhere on the East Coast. He had went 2 years prior, bought a gun, bought all these tape, put it in a Home Depot type 5-gallon bucket, buried it in a park, and then chilled. And then came back a couple of years later, stalked the people, went and picked it up, killed them, put it back in the thing, and then went back home. He would fly into one town, rent a car, and then drive to that town. But his kill kit was already at the location. And had been there for 2 years. That way he didn't have to travel with a gun. He doesn't travel with anything. He was active for 14 years. And eventually killed him. He committed suicide.
You're going to have to send me the link to this.
I will. I was enthralled. Like, are you kidding me? Like shit like that. Like, holy crap. Because if he's out there doing this, and he was just a regular old contractor guy. Had a girlfriend, had a 10-year-old daughter. No one was the wiser. what he committed suicide essentially because he didn't want because the main victim was going to be his friends and family. Because now because he lived 2 lives. And then one, like the girl he got caught for, he had killed her. He was up in Alaska, killed her, put her in the freezer. Went on a 2-week cruise with his girlfriend and daughter. Came back, thawed her out, took a picture of her for a ransom note, and then disposed of her body on a ice fishing
so he
lake.
was making money off him too. Or trying
on this one. He was also a bank robber. He would also commit. He would rob banks in the same area. But then they had been hunting him for maybe 5 or 6 years as a bank robber all throughout the country. He was travel all around.
This guy had fucking balls.
Oh, yeah. I was like, man.
Well, I think I'm gonna go rob a bank. Then I'm gonna kill a bitch, and then I'm gonna ransom the bitch.
Yeah, the ransom didn't work. That's like because he got caught because he stayed around, but he also did it in his own backyard. That was the first time he did it where he lived.
And in the meantime, I'm gonna catch a cruise.
Right. Yeah, he was just chill about it. And that was his. And he said he would get the urge, but after he killed her, he got pulled over in Texas.
For me, I don't think I wouldn't feel like guilty about killing. I think I could kill, but I would get caught because I would be so frantic with fear of getting caught that I would make fucking sloppy mistakes. And I might fucking turn myself in just because I don't want to get caught. I'd rather turn myself in than get caught.
The guilt, yeah. The thing,
it's not the guilt.
We all have the innate. We're all we're animals. We're all human animals. We call ourselves civilized because we wear a t-shirt and some flip flops and shit like that. We run around. Oh, we're better than that because of civilization, but we're all still have the potential to kill. But yeah, I think my biggest fear is because of my brain injury. I don't show surprise, shock, and awe very easily. And so if someone came, hey, so and so's dead, and we think you did it. Oh, okay. like no, he's guilty. Like, yeah, because I watch these shows and people get caught and like, oh, he had to have done it because he didn't react a certain way.
Right. Yeah.
But they end up getting on 10 years later. I'm like, but I don't understand how that is the defining evidence is because of the way you react.
Well, I think that's like, detectives when they have a hunch and very little physical evidence to go on, they kind of, how's he acting? Is he shifty? Is he showing, is he sad? Is he not sad? How's he acting? To give him kind of a clue to, did he do it? Or did he not do it? I feel like typically in the standard murder case, which is probably a crime of passion, there are typical telltale signs. The guy's acting fucking, shifty. He's talking fast. He
keeps changing his story.
Yeah, shit like that. But yeah, I think if I killed somebody, I would say, well, first of all, I wouldn't plan to kill somebody.
That's your first mistake.
Yeah, see, if I was going to kill somebody, you should plan to do it. That way you don't fuck up.
You should always have a backup.
But I think if I killed somebody, it would be either an accident or a crime of passion. And as soon as it was done and I registered that they're dead, I would say, oh, fuck. And then I would try to resuscitate them.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And then after that failed, I would say, what am I going to do now? And I would either say, okay, do I fucking call and turn myself in, tell them I fucking just killed somebody, or do I try and fucking clean this shit up? And if I went the cleaning route, I think I would be so like, oh, fuck, someone's going to see this. Someone's going to find out.
Well, bleach is what screws people over.
Yeah.
Because it'd be a swirl of bleach instead of the entire room or the entire floor.
Well, not only that, but I wouldn't stop to take time to like make a checklist of things to do. I would just be like, grab them, put them in the trunk of the car, and it's like you're leaving this string of evidence that you're not thinking of later. You're just thinking, get the body out. You're not thinking about, the hair or the fingerprints or the trace DNA that you're leaving on their skin. You're not thinking about all
because as of right now, the evidence is laying in the living room.
Yeah, you're just thinking, get the body out. And see, I think you would have time to reflect because once you got the body disposed of somewhere or buried, and you got home and it settled on you that the police aren't going to fucking come kick in your door.
Right.
No one knows you're fine. You would start like going over what you did and think, oh fuck, I made a bunch of mistakes. Oh shit, now what? Yeah, because once you've made the mistakes, it would be really difficult to unmake them.
Well, like I was saying, like I don't know if we had this conversation before, but epinephrine and norepinephrine is what your brain used for short-term memory. I believe it's the hypothalamus. I can look at it. Nobody quote me on that. I believe the hypothalamus is short-term memory, and it uses norepinephrine or epinephrine. That's the same thing that your adrenal gland uses. So in that moment, when you go into fight or flight, all that extra epinephrine and norepinephrine, depending on, most people have both, but one is more dominant or something. Again, don't quote me on this. I passed those classes and took those exams. But as soon as, because in your brain it does this, in your body it does this, and so as soon as it dumps into your bloodstream, your brain is now working on less, and so that's why you don't remember short-term memory in that moment, because you're in fight or flight. You're just trying to figure things out. And so by the time you come back to rationalization, you start to calm down, and you get 20 minutes of just pure, like, what the fuck? And then as soon as you calm down, you start to think, what did I do? And you can't remember because you had no short-term memory. You were in that fight or flight mode, and your body was, the same we're animals. You're in protection mode, and your body is turning off everything that's not necessary. Which, in my mind, we haven't evolved to the point where, hey, maybe short-term memory is probably the most important thing that we need for survival, just so we don't do it again. But you don't know. You don't remember the first time you burnt yourself, but you know not to touch your stove again. But looking back, there's no way you're going to remember every single thing other than just burning the house down.
Yeah. I think, if I were to want to commit a murder, like let's say I just want to kill for the sake of killing.
Who? Let's drop names.
Well, you can't kill anyone you know. That will fuck you for sure. 100%. If there's anything I've learned in true crime, don't kill anyone you fucking know. So I'd have to figure out a way to select a victim. I don't know who my type is when it comes to a murder victim.
Okay, so what is the point of our murder? Are we doing it just because we want to take a bad person off the planet, or are we doing it just because we want to see what it feels like? So you got to go from there. Like,
I guess just to see what it feels like.
Okay.
And then it would be, I guess, a crime of opportunity. Just
does it want to be a male or a female? Because if it's a female, obviously we should be stronger than them, and they're more vulnerable when they're alone versus a man that maybe could defend himself. He may be armed. So are we choosing a female? I think that's why females are probably the biggest targets. But that one chick, she killed dudes on that.
Oh yeah, Charlize Theron played her monster.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell her name was.
I don't remember her name, but yeah, she killed unhunted dudes.
Yeah, but that was crime opportunity. She was just hitchhiking down the fucking highway with a pistol, and guys would pick her up, ask them to suck their dick, and then she would shoot them.
Yeah, you get me. I'd be vulnerable. As soon as you said blowjob, I'm like, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah,
shoot me in my face. Go ahead, we'll try it. Is it gonna be this or a belt around my neck?
So
do you enter their home, or do you catch them in the woods? Or do you try to lure them into your house through Craigslist?
I think I would have to develop a set of circumstances to look for. So I'd have to, create my kill kit, things I'm going to need in the moment to...
Sorry to cut you off, but you missed your opportunity with the night the girl snuck out from last episode. No one knew where she was, and two, no one was expecting her to be gone. That'd have been your prime opportunity. You dropped the ball on that. Anyway, go ahead. Kill kit.
So... Gotta have a kill kit.
What are we using?
Isotoners. Shout out to OJ.
Hey.
Let's see. Rope, duct tape. God, if you can get it, chloroform. I mean, I don't know what you got to do to get it.
Chloroform is just bleach and alcohol. It's like you can make it.
Really?
I'm almost certain.
I don't think it's just that easy to synthesize chloroform at home. It's not like making Kool-Aid.
Let me see. The chemistry. Hold on.
But something like that. If you can't get chloroform, fuck. I mean,
Survivalpedia.
I think maybe some type of a club.
Like a blackjack or something like that. Because remember now, if you open a wound, there's more blood and you got blood splatter.
Yeah,
If Dexter taught us anything.
Yeah, it's got to be something that's not going to create a wound. Some type of mallet.
All right, here we go. The ratio for making chloroform needs to be 1 part acetone to 50 parts bleach. That's 1 tablespoon of acetone per cup of bleach.
Really? It's that easy?
Place the bleach in a container and add several ice cubes.
You better clear your fucking search history.
Okay, I thought it was rubbing alcohol. I mean, acetone is pretty much an alcohol, but yeah, it's that simple.
I want to fucking test this out.
I'm down, bro. I'll let you do it to me.
Just fucking make some and we could huff it. Just pass out.
Okay. Acetone, isn't that just like a fingernail polish remover?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fingernail polish. This sounds too easy. That's like the time I heard that you can make napalm with gasoline and styrofoam.
We can try that too. So if you have,
well, it just creates like a gel, a flammable gel. I've tried it, but it's not napalm.
Okay. That's pretty much like alcohol and glycerin, like hand sanitizers. A gel, it's flammable, right?
Yeah, well, no, napalm is naphthalene palmitate.
Okay, so right here's other ingredients to combine. If you have a copper still, and who doesn't, laying around it, that is the way to distill your chloroform into liquid. You can use the ingredients listed above, or you can use 4 parts bleaching powder. Okay. 3 parts, 96% alcohol, and 13 parts water. Okay, so that's where I was getting the alcohol from. So bleaching powder and alcohol, mix that with water. But that seems like a lot of work.
You got to have these ingredients in addition to.
You could, if you're going to distill it into a liquid, you could use that.
Well, that seems like if you're gonna do it right.
Yeah, but if you, I mean, because no one's gonna question you buying bleach, and no one's gonna question you buying acetone.
I know these aren't items that are on like a red flag list. I mean,
yeah, but a copper still, you start making a still, even if they're just looking for you for bootlegging, which is still legal. Yes.
Yeah, but you can make a copper still really easy. I mean,
okay, let's just try this. Let's just start with the acetone and bleach. We'll figure that out. And I would try just out of curiosity to what it would feel like. We'll see what the residual side effects are, and then we can
start planning from there.
Yeah, because then that'd be good for your kill kit now. Okay, sorry.
I think the most important factor in the kill kit is supreme confidence. You can't second guess yourself once you've begun work. Once you go and you found the person and you hit him over the head, you can't. Oh,
I'm sorry, buddy. Yeah, you've got to be.
There's no second guesses, because it's when you start second guessing yourself that they're going to get away, or that you're gonna have that hesitation. You're not going to hit them hard enough, or you're going to take too long getting them into the trunk, and someone's going to see you. You got to move just swift. Bam, bitch, boom, slam, done.
Because the hesitation is what's going to cause the people to pay attention.
Yeah, that guy looking shifty, and all of a sudden he's wearing gloves and a fucking balaclava. You know,
in July.
What the fuck's going on?
Right. Where the fuck to get that Pinto? You want a hatchback. So I think it'd be easier than throwing it into a trunk.
Yeah, but then everyone can see, who's in the back.
You throw a tarp on. You do it around hunting season, no one will be the wiser around here.
Yeah, you really got to knock them out, though, because the last thing you want is to be stopped at a stoplight and they jump out of the back of your fucking car.
So that's the thing, too. Like, when you watch, like Dexter obviously had medical training and all that stuff, and so he knew how long they were going to be out. We don't know how long that chloroform is going to last. There
is a fucking movie with, what the fuck's his name? The Big Lebowski. You know who I'm talking about.
Dan Goodman?
What? No.
Isn't he in the Big Lebowski? Isn't he?
He was in...
Jeff Bridges?
Jeff Bridges. Okay, that's the fucking name. There's a...
But isn't John Goodman? Isn't John Goodman in there, though, too?
Yes.
Okay. Why you hating on me?
I don't know. But so there's this, like old Jeff Bridges movie where it's got Sandra Bullock in it, and he wants to kill somebody, and he gets some chloroform and he tests it out on himself and times how long he's passed out for. And he sets a clock, he chloroforms himself, and then checks the time when he wakes up. And then he goes out and kills this woman. I can't remember the name of the movie.
It's got Sandra Bullock too.
Yeah.
Have you seen Mr. Brooks?
Yes, I have.
It's a solid flick.
Yeah.
All right, how long did it last?
I can't remember, but it's just like there's ways to find out how long it's going to last. But see, the thing is, that person's going to have adrenaline pumping because someone all of a sudden someone's got you a hand over your face
instantly.
It's going to be cranking, so that's going to reduce the effects. And it's hard. How do you test for that? I mean, you can't get that effect for me because I'm expecting it.
Right.
So we would have to.
So then it brings into, we don't want a guy because now we've got a limp dude that we've got to try to throw into a trunk. So that makes sense in why women are more practical as far as testing that out.
Female paraplegic. Difficult to find. That's going to reduce our hitbox by quite a bit.
Oh, I thought you meant to practice on, like throwing around bodies, which would make sense if we found one. Just I was going to say, if we work as an orderly, we could build up our strength of throwing bodies around.
Oh, yeah.
We need to write this down for a movie. That'd be good.
So we go and we stake out a Walmart late at night, chloroform a woman, and then just lay her in the grass and watch her from afar. See how long it takes her to come to.
Be a great channel.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, just to stage that and like do a candid camera type situation.
I wonder if we could set up like a GoFundMe, and people would probably volunteer for shit like that. It's like you pay a certain amount of money, and then we'll try to stalk you and try to chloroform you, and it would lead you into.
Oh, it's like that fucking Michael Douglas movie. It's where I think it's called The Game.
Okay.
And he
for his birthday, like the brother.
Yeah, yes.
And they end up on that rooftop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ends up getting fucking kidnapped and everything starts going to shit. And,
have you seen Game Night?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, we can chloroforming some random person, which I think.
Is that illegal on its own? I guess it is. You can't drug a person.
We got to see how long it lasts in there. Like, what's the toxicology report going to say? If you show up at the hospital an hour later, is it still in your system?
Yeah, I really feel like it would probably pass in and out of your system relatively quickly as an inhalant like that.
We got a couple of viewers. Do you guys know how long it lasts in your system?
But then again, since it is an inhalant, the effects are going to be, rapid onset, rapid offset.
Right.
And that's why one of us is going to have to get in the back with her and continually, redose on the chloroform every, 15 minutes or so.
So we got to be careful not to kill her on accident.
Yeah. Can you OD on chloroform? I assume so.
Chloroform test can determine the level of chloroform in the blood, tissue, and air you exhale. Okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't say for how long.
It says it leaves the body quickly, so it's gonna be You got to probably be right away. So I think we could be good if we just go do it to random people.
Ooh, we could get the date rape drug GHB, knock them out with the chloroform, and then dose them with GHB after they're knocked out. Now, even if they do wake up, they won't remember anything.
It says, "Oh my God, good hunting." Thanks.
Oh yeah, Live Links is $30 for 90 minutes.
wow, it's come a long way.
How much were you paying?
0, because I told you I was getting the numbers.
Oh yeah,
I was
that's
getting
right,
the
yeah,
code
free
from
trial. But you had to start a new account with everything, so you had to do a new buyout.
Yeah, but who cared? You don't want that stuff out there. I mean, who cared? Because it took, because time wasn't being deducted until you went into the pool.
Man, you could have been on TLC's Extreme Cheapskate.
Yeah.
That would have been brilliant.
Oh, and I wonder if even they have the free code, the free trials anymore, because I mean, I was on there for hours, like during the weekend, because I would work Monday through Friday, and I have access to at least 2 phones, each day. Because when people would move, this is back because there was no cell phones, everybody had a landline, so you had your phone still connected at your house, and then the new phone connected at your new location. And so I had access to at least 1 or 2. And so if I got lucky, I would have 10 hours.
So
the weekend,
the people whose home you were moving, were they receiving calls from just random women?
No, you'd log in, call whatever the number is. Actually, you could probably do it if you want to do it from there. We can call in and see what the process goes through. But we call in and say thank you for this. Would you like your free trial code? Because it prompts you, because it's the first time your number had called in. And so it'll prompt you. So get a pen and paper and write this down, and it'll give you the code. Boom, you just write down a 7-digit code. And I would store the code, and then next time you log in, it's like, you have a free code or a free trial code, enter it now. I'm sure they've gotten hip to that now, whereas that free trial is probably tied into your phone number.
Yeah, from what I saw, it's just you get a promotional discount rate for your first sign up.
Yeah, but back then you get free 30 minutes.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's when they had a steady supply of people. They knew they could give it away and still make a ton of money.
Yeah, because again, there was no internet, no cell phones. So your options were live links or taking your chances of the real world in a club stuff like that. But it was interesting because some of the people you would come across, you'd be like the people you only see at the state fair.
God, and you gotta be horny and desperate enough to be like, okay, fuck it, let's see what they look like.
Oh yeah, and this is because again, you didn't have cell phones, so there was no way of getting a picture to me. And this one girl, my thing was always, hey, let's go to a movie, possibly dinner, and just see what happens. Because again, we already know there's no need to have that conversation. I think that's why I was most effective in my hunting or stalking the poon, was because I wasn't blatant about it. We already had an understanding, like in your mind, her thinks I've already paid for this. So now I'm that well-dressed guy because, well, he's paying for this. Wow, it's free for me, so he must be at some level of status as far as income.
Now, were there women on there looking for like long-term relationships or just friends kind of thing? Because I would just assume, okay, you're on live links, you want the dick.
Right, but you just don't say it.
Right.
But back then, again, if you were looking for, you had men in your life. But I look at it as women, and any woman that's on here that's listening can, if the vagina is more powerful than
POP.
Where's my mouse? There it is. I'll take those. They have all the power. So any woman on any given night can get as many penises as they want. They have a Rolodex in their cell phone. And I'm sure this was prior to cell phones. There's always 1 or 2 people they could call.
Even the ugliest, nastiest pussy.
100%. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we were going back to the conversation we had the other day. Like, for every desperate man, you've got to lower your standards.
Yes.
Obviously, you're not having sex with.
Sometimes you gotta take the chick that no one else wants. I mean, how desperate are you? I mean, you can't fucking. I don't know. The incels just still baffle me.
Yeah, I don't understand. You're upset because you can't get laid, but it's literally easier now than it's ever been other than cavemen. We just walk up, hit them on the head, and go with it. It's literally
all
right
previous
here.
Methods are also still available too.
Well, yeah,
like, there's the cyber method, but you can still do what everyone else in the history of mankind has done previously, and that's go out and find somebody.
Yeah,
you gotta just put in the work.
That's it. Take a shower, put on some clean clothes. One, you can't be nasty and dirty.
I've never just met somebody in a place and taken them home. I've never really tried, but I know that every time I've been in a bar, no one talks to me. Maybe that's because I'm like slamming shots in the corner by myself,
looking desperate.
Yeah, just like, oh my god.
Yeah, you've got the personality for live links or casual encounters. But again, even me in the club, I can dance, and so that made it easier. But it was also, I've always been the nice guy. Didn't really play sports. Didn't have to, because while their boyfriends were playing sports, I was right there to console them or do whatever. So it's like I've always, but I was, again, it goes back with the conversation we were talking about before. Don't kiss and tell. Because if you keep your mouth shut, because women are just as horny as men. If you're willing to be her side dude and keep your mouth shut, she's going to tell all her other friends they need a side dude that'll keep their mouth shut. And it becomes this little underground network of Jeremy knows how to get down and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, see, that was always my greatest flaw. I had to fucking brag. Especially when I found like someone when I bagged a good one.
And that was your problem. Like, fucking Steve can't keep his damn mouth shut. And again, because women talk. If you put it down the first time, there's no better advertising than free advertisement and good free advertisement. You can say that the whole bad press is press, but no, good advertisement is good advertisement. Got to put in the work, be nice, and just shut the fuck up. Because there's been people say that a woman knows she's going to have sex with you or not in the first 30 seconds. Whatever comes out of your mouth is going to screw yourself.
Where did you get that figure?
I don't know. It was on maybe like an Oprah or something like that. Maybe someone can look that up. Right there. Yes, we do. Oh, she might be talking. See, I need to pay more attention to that. Yeah, Coyote Ugly. That's funny. We need to pay more attention to what's going on. We need like a third person to monitor that. But again, a woman already knows. Like, or dudes like, I'd hit that. Whereas women be like, I'm going to hit that. You can tell when a woman, if she goes into pursuit mode.
Well, yeah, because see, women have that power. They can say, I'm going to hit that. Men can only say, well, I would.
Right, given the opportunity.
Yeah, given the opportunity.
It's a chloroform.
Yeah, fuck.
But yeah, and so that's why we've got to learn and hang out with women. Women, if you just hang out and shut up, they will tell you everything. Like probably my first big all out threesome. My roommate she was bisexual but leaned more towards the lesbian side because of this was living in California, because she had a history with men that just were abusive. And so her girlfriend at the time was going to be part of the transit authority. And so she was going to be gone for 6 months to learn go through the police academy or whatever. And she'd be a cop for the trains and such in California and the public transportation. And so we're in the car. We're leaving a party, going to get food from a taco place. And I'm sitting in the back seat. And the girlfriend says, while I'm gone, because she's about to go in the next couple of days. And she's like, while I'm gone, don't be having sex with other people. And then she says, but I think maybe Jeremy would be okay. Now, any dude in the world would have said, oh, he got all excited. And she, my roommate looked up in the rearview mirror and just looked at me. And I just sat in the back and just didn't say a fucking word. Because you want to get excited and, oh my God, yes, I'll fucking shut up both of you. Well, this is what's going on in your mind, but you don't say that out loud. I always tell my nephews, don't be a dude. Because a dude will talk you out of all kinds of cool shit. In that moment, just shut up, observe, and let it take its course. Because as soon as you say something macho or braggadocious or something like that, you've ruined everything. You just confirmed to her that, yeah, this is probably why we shouldn't do this. So I just shut up. My roommate turns to her and says, well, let's go get the food and we can go back to our house. And she said, okay. And I just, again, I'm in the back, just fucking, I'm sure my eyes are probably this big around and my heart's beating. And just shut up. I wanted to say all kinds of things. I just sat in the back, all calm and chill until we went and we couldn't get to the fucking food place fast enough and back to drop the food off. We went and dropped it off, hung out at the party for maybe another 5 or 10 minutes, and then went back to our house. And it just went down like that. But again, most guys have probably had that opportunity, but they open their mouth. I think of these incels will be like, just shut up. Women, they're creatures just like us, but we got to listen. They have all the power. And I think men. So remember
there are 10 women to 1 man, so it's a work. And I think it's the other way around.
Alaska, it is.
10 men to 1 woman.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's called a bukkake.
Yeah, at least. But yeah, you should just shut up. And I've been in several situations like that. And when I was looking back over my life, I'm like, wow, yeah, if I would have said something, because it's happened, I've like opened my mouth and like, nah, not today. That sucks. And so you start to use it to your advantage and just shut up. And I would learn. It was easier to navigate because everybody wants it. Women want it just as bad as we do. It's just that the society thinks that women got to be, like, what's the term? I guess not necessarily prudish, but I gotta have good moral standards and stuff like that. But we wouldn't. The population wouldn't be what it is if that was the case. So it takes two.
Yeah.
And so I think if to the incels that are, if you're out there listening, just shut up. Yeah. Women want it. They want it just as bad as we do. And sometimes they want to give it to you, but you're fucking clean, your hygiene, brush your damn teeth, trim your mustache, comb your hair, clean your clothes, and just shut the fuck up. Don't be a dude. That's my mantra.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not hard. I mean, especially if you pick up a drug habit, there's always that's going to lead you places. I can tell you that.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not the cleanest, savoriest places, but it'll lead you places.
All you need is a soft surface. Oh, I've gotten down in crazy, my generation, backseat of cars. I'm sure people still do that now just for the whole throwback thing because it's retro now. But I mean, you get down where you can. We're still like there's nothing more natural than sex.
There's nothing more fucking annoying than car sex. I hate fucking in a car. I mean, I'd rather just not even fuck if it's gonna have to be in a car.
Look at you, see? And what happens is she's gonna give you some, and you know what? I don't want to have sex, and you talk yourself out of it. Just shut up and take it, because the next time may be somewhere cool.
I don't know. It's just like, well, I'm not into that. I hate it.
I think I've only had it a couple times. I'm trying to think. Because it's not.
You can never get the right angle. And on top of that, when you're on your knees in the back seat, your fucking head is hitting the ceiling, and you can't fucking yelling.
Imagine how he feels.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
When you said you're on your knees in the back of the car, I'm like, sorry.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But yeah, it's just not a good place. And cars seem to have gotten smaller, but the car you can afford early on.
Like I mean, Jeep, shit, if it's a Chevy Suburban, I'll take it all day. My Jeep
would be the jam. You fold that back seat down, and it's on. Because I've road tripped cross country when I was coming out here from South Carolina, where it's like a 24-hour drive to get here. I would stop on the side of the road and just fold the seat down, lay in a little strip, and I stretch clean out. That's with the subwoofer and whatever stuff I was traveling with. But yeah, so a nice little SUV, and now I got the bus now, so it's on. I got 2 tables in there too, so it must be where it's at. And I can put an air mattress in there, but I also have a house. But
yeah, I guess when you just want the thrill of
prim and proper, yeah, that's what like. I couldn't think about that because I don't think like a woman. Where a dude is supposed to be macho and all that. Because macho and confidence gets through the prim and proper, but that's not the case. You got to cater to that.
Yeah, we could start our own fucking porn channel. Bang bus. Meet the doctor. Oh yeah, my neck hurts.
So what am I doing? And if it doesn't work out, we can test our chloroform. Oh, that'd be the chloroform bus.
Oh, your neck hurts? Here, breathe this.
No, because what we can do is we can pass out masks that already have chloroform.
It probably evaporates pretty quickly, and it's got a stink. If it's made out of bleach and acetone, that's not a friendly odor.
Well, the ones I have a little filter thingy, plastic hard thing on the side, so you can have something in there. What I need you to do is push that right quick and to get a good seal, and it's.
I bet it's kind of harsh on the lungs.
But I bet if we look, maybe not necessarily on the regular. Oh, good night, Tina. On the regular web, but I'm sure there's probably chloroform porn.
Oh yeah, guarantee. I mean, God, there's poop porn.
Yeah.
I mean,
how do you okay? So let's take it's scatting, by the way,
thanks for correcting me.
and and it's Tauruses are prone to it. It's actually copophilia. So imagine 30, 40 years ago before the internet, how do you find another person? And that's the thing too with you incels. Be honest and upfront about what you're looking for. Because if you're in a situation and you're hanging out with someone, just ask. Like the answer is no, and I've gotten through life thus far. The answer is no if I don't ask.
Yeah, I think if you had a fucking weird fetish like that, you just have to start hanging out at fucking porn stores, the arcades, and just talking to other people. Like, hey, what are you into?
I guess yeah. They're gonna be standing in those sections.
Yeah, and then eventually you're gonna meet a guy who's also into what you're into, and he probably might know other men who are into it, and maybe even other women who are into it that he's met. So then it'd just be a way of networking. You just got to find the right place to network.
Well, not now, but back in the day. So I always wondered, like, how does that come up in a club?
I see, I still see like the Santa Fe Books. They've got an arcade there. It's like, man, who? First of all, is it a live? I think it is a live arcade. So you go in, you put your money in.
Santa Fe and what?
Union.
Give me a shout out. Oh shit, what are you doing over there?
It's not that. It's not that. It's right
No,
by
not
my
from
house.
your house. Okay, yeah. From here, everything's far from here.
Yeah. So you go into the booth, you put your money in, door goes up, girl with her tits out comes out.
Oh, like live chicks.
Yeah, behind a pane of glass, starts dancing, does her thing, and then time runs up, door goes back up.
I used to work at Sex World in Minneapolis. That was that way. So,
and I assume that there's also like booths where you can just watch porn. I don't think you're supposed to in those places, but I'm sure people do.
Well, they have a jizz mopper. Yeah, you're not supposed to do anything in those places. It's posted outside, like one person per booth and all that stuff. But I've been in those places throughout the country, and they're all interesting to say the least. But I think I worked, so Sex World now is like 2 or 3 stories. Mm-hmm. It was still a big place. It's like off Washington and 2nd Avenue. If anybody's watching that's in the area, you can correct me on that. But last I was up in Minneapolis, it was still there. But I was interning at Orphan Records, which is now Orphan Distribution, so I don't think they even do recording anymore. But they had 3 studios at the time. And down the street from Moose and Sadie's and across the street from Monte Carlo Restaurant, if it's still there, if anybody's from Minneapolis or familiar with the area that goes around there. But I would work. My internship would go from, I say like noon to around 6, and I would go and hang out, get some dinner, and I'd work there from 9 at night until 4 in the morning. And you just basically were just making sure that the women were okay and the women behind the glass. And then you start hanging out with these. So you're spending hours with these girls and making sure they're safe. And then you become the only man that doesn't want something from them. And so they tend to tell you things and talk to you and invite you back to their house. I'm like, no, I'm fucking tired. And you just been playing with yourself for the last 4 hours. There's nothing I can do. You just had a fist up there. You expect me to.
Yeah, I always wondered
about that.
Women like that, do they still get like horny? Because it's like they're so over-sexed and they're always seeing that that horny, desperate side of men. And it's just like, do they even? What are they attracted to?
I'm curious if they even see the guy.
Well, yeah, probably. I mean, even if it's a 2-way mirror, you can still see through it if the lighting's right. But it's just like, eventually you're going to get turned off to seeing a man in that state, I would assume.
Oh, yeah. Dudes are just disgusting. I'm breathing all heavy in the faces we make.
Yeah, I'm fucking high, baby, and blah, blah. It's just like, she's been hearing that. It's like, who is the man for that woman?
Okay, but it goes back to strippers. And the same thing. They do the same thing, but they're up close and personal. I mean, there's huge bouncers that are there to protect them, but at the same time, you're still rubbing up on this guy, and then you're expected to go back to your man. One's got to be a strong dude. It's got to be a guy that has zero insecurities whatsoever, but he's probably abusive or codependent,
or one of those guys who's just like, okay, like those those relationships where it's like I can't remember the term for it, but it's like 6 guys sharing one woman in a relationship,
Like polyamorous.
or like I saw like a True Life episode or something where it was a man and a woman. The guy was older, wealthy, woman was hot, tight, young, and they were
You're assuming she was tight, but go ahead.
Tight body.
Okay.
But so
because she's living with 5 dudes.
She's this is a different thing, but same principle. The guy's obviously, with her, or she's obviously with him because he's wealthy. This guy's not a looker. He's just kind of that lanky, skinny, bald, glasses. I mean, nothing against your look, by the way. but he doesn't have a lot going for him. No muscle tone or anything like that. Just a nerdy personality. No charisma. And eventually, one day, she asks him like, "Oh, there's this guy I want to bring into our relationship, and I want him to stay here at the house with us." So it's this guy's house, and he, like a bitch. I mean, if this is what he's into, fine. But I get the feeling that he just doesn't want to lose this.
Right. Just taking advantage of the situation.
Yeah. And so, and then...
she was probably dating him the whole entire time.
And then the guy she brings in is like, 25, 6-pack.
The pool guy.
Yeah, just like, holy shit, this guy's good looking. And then eventually, so the older guy is paying for everything. Meals, they get their own fuck time and all this other stuff. And then she goes, "Well, I want to have a baby, but with him." And then the older guy agrees to that too. I just can't imagine being like, "Yeah, that's great." That's almost like a father, like a weird twisted.
How good does it have to be?
Yeah,
for you to let another guy impregnate it.
She better be like, I mean, there is no pussy that good, because that pussy's only, the pussy's only as good for as long as you can fuck, and right. So for 23 hours and 50 minutes of the day, you've got to watch this other guy strutting around your house eating your food, and you got to hear them fuck. It's just.
And this is like a documentary, like a real life.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
A reality show.
Yeah, and I had also just read an article on Vice News about a more common relationship style being like, 4, 5, 6 guys all in a relationship with one woman, kind of like Mormonism, but casual dating and with multiple men instead of multiple women. And they all get along, and there's no like
I'm a one penis per party kind of guy, because when you have 2 guys and a girl, that's a competition.
Yeah, see, you got to find 5 guys who are all in that state of mind of like, I don't possess you. I only
like an asexual.
Well, it's not that. It's just like that new age type guy who's just like feminist, all about the women's choice, and they, not jealous at all. It's just the type of personality traits, and then finding that 5 times over.
Yeah, because we were having a discussion about the blowjob all day. Like it takes there's got to be a secret club, because finding one would be close to impossible. I get finding and bringing in another guy, because he may be entertaining the thought that he may be bisexual, something like that, and or maybe just like to watch, because there's voyeurs and there's exhibitionists, so that would make kind of sense. And those people would be easy to find.
You ever been asked to do a cuckold scenario?
Yes. And so then when you want to extend the formula, I guess you want to reproduce the model, that's where it starts to get difficult, because finding 2 guys would be easy. I could see where, okay, one girl because I'm secure enough for myself, and I'm an introvert, but I'm also an individual. So if I had a girl who was like, oh, I'm gonna come by and just hit you up from time to time and do my own thing, that's fucking awesome because I want to do my own thing and mind my own business.
Yeah, I mean, you got.
But then you start saying, well, ooh, I'm gonna be with Joey on Friday,
And what type of woman is this? Where she's just like, oh, I need variety, but I need more variety than that, and I need it on a daily basis. And
yeah, this is a woman who has her father's child. Like,
yeah,
not to loop back to conversations again, but the amount of daddy issues that have to be present.
well, see, it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be present for a man to do the same thing, though. I want a man to be polygamous, multiple wives.
But I don't think that. So I don't think that men do it from a sexual standpoint.
I don't know about you, but if I was going to have 5 wives, I would be thinking primarily. I guess these are where that occurs is religious.
I have a friend who has 5 mothers from Utah, and each mom had her own house. He had a cattle ranch and a trucking company, so the majority of the time he was providing for his 5 families. Granted, he had double-digit siblings from the 5 different households, but at the same time, like, it wasn't, from my understanding in the conversations that I had, I didn't pry, deeply, but based off the conversations that him and I had, like, the dad wasn't around a lot because he was too busy providing for his family.
I mean, yeah, you got 20 kids, you got to make the money.
Yeah, and then some women, they just want the family. I don't necessarily need the man, but I want to raise this big, huge family. I want the security of a man to pay my bills. Because I think it's natural. I can't, really speak truthfully on this from experience, but I think women naturally want to have children and raise children. I think it's a natural thing. We see it in in the animal world, and we see it, I think, in the polygamous world, or probably I think it's polygamous. Yeah. So they just want to have children and just be fruitful and multiply. Whereas we look at it as, I want to get in a relationship because I want to have sex when I want to. Whereas I think they're doing it because they're doing God's work, but I also got to supply. If I'm going to do this, I also got to supply housing and food for all these children. So he's not just laying around fucking 5 women when you got to feed.
Well, yeah, because it says, be fruitful and multiply. So then he, tries to fulfill that to the maximum potential.
Right.
I wonder if there are men who are polygamist, but not due to a religious preference. Just like a guy who's like,
Oh, hold on, Laura, 5252. Men like what? It was 831. So is that
lots of men that
so men like that, but I don't know when it came. This is what we get. It was 4 minutes ago, so I'm assuming it's in this conversation.
Men who want multiple women, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it's a. But the motivation behind it? You can have men that want to do this for the conquer, but there's also men that want to do just because I think that's more of a natural.
See, getting a guy who wants multiple wives, not that abstract an idea. Getting, and finding a guy like that who is not religious, not an abstract idea, but finding 5 different women willing to be married to one man, not as a part of a religious construct, but just because they love that man and want to be in this man's, family. That's going to be a tough one to rain down, because with the religious thing, it's like they're being told like this is their duty.
Right.
This is something that other women your age are going through. It's normal. You should go out, find a husband, and be prepared to share him with several other women. I think
there's more of a brainwashing from their perspective.
It's the alley-oop for the guy, because it makes it a lot easier for him. I mean, because if you have a pool of women who already are accustomed to thinking that it is to be expected and normal to share a husband with other women, then you're
We're still here. Steve just sucks.
well, yeah, we're 25 minutes over.
Okay, so she's saying there's lots of men. So the 5 men to 1 woman. Do you know some of these people? Because I would like to have a conversation with at least one of them. Because if you know these people, like PM me or send us a message through here or through one of our social medias. Because I wanted to have a phone conversation with that individual, just because I want to know what's inside of his head. Only because for me, dudes are gross. My hygiene is impeccable. Dudes are gross. I'm not saying that you are, but I'm saying with the average man and the person from my generation growing up in gym class and all that stuff and just hanging out and sleepovers and hanging out with men, they're fucking gross and nasty. I couldn't imagine sharing with 5 gross dudes.
Yeah, you got 4 other guys, sweaty ball sweat, just smack it against that thing.
And you occupy the same space, so his towel.
And she's not going to shower between every single dude either. There's going to be lazy days.
Yeah, there's
lazy days.
There's no way. There's no way, because that's. Yeah. There's again, because of my hygiene, like I expect, which I've lost all faith in women's hygiene since becoming a chiropractor, because I learned that they're not as clean as I thought they were. So
yeah. It's not only the hygiene thing, but when I am with a woman, I expect her attention to be on me, and I don't want to have to compete with 4 other dudes. When,
and how does she not compare?
When Bryce wants to tell a joke, but maybe I'm not in the fucking mood. Or, Matt has a good story. Everyone has to just be so, oh man, I couldn't do it. Just dealing and then having to be like, and then like if I want her attention, but she's, engaging with Brand, I gotta wait and give her. Just sharing is not my thing.
Yeah, because like, I mean, it's a competition at that point. Like, what is the? I couldn't do it with 4 other Jeremys. Just you got more than one alpha, you're gonna have an issue. If you got 5 guys that are docile, that might work, but who is in charge?
Yeah, see, if there was a guy who is like a metro, really submissive, I could just tell him like whatever the fuck I wanted, like, hey, shut the fuck up, it's my time.
Yeah,
go piss off.
If you want to watch, that's fine, but shut up. Don't be a dude right now.
I couldn't do it with another guy.
Couldn't perform.
It's just kind of like,
I'm not gonna make eye contact with you. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, but still, it's kind of like, fucking in the room with the dog watching you. It's just having eyes on me. It's the reason I can't be in porn, because I cannot focus when I know I'm being watched. It's too much. Yeah. Holy shit, my ass went to sleep.
Hold on 1 second.
Absolutely. We should start wrapping it up anyhow.
So I'm checking out for something. So a conversation was going on. A person that has been approached by men to be a part of that type of a thing. And someone's checking to see, well, she's listening now, if she would be willing to come on. That we can just call her through the phone app, and she wouldn't have to be on the video. You just be the audio and have a discussion. It'd be totally anonymous, but to have that discussion, I think that would be. Yeah, there's so many factors that go into play in my mind. But again, I would never fit in that situation because of all the things that I'm thinking about. Just one, hygiene for one, both hers and theirs.
Yeah.
If I get down and look down, it's all like so.
Yeah, and everybody's going bareback. No fucking way.
Yeah, and if they're all doing that, who can we? Because it's one thing to get in a relationship with one person you trust.
Yeah, you got to know everyone's sexual history.
Yeah,
man. Fuck
but we have 3 to 4 people we can try the chloroform on. So
yeah,
we have options.
I think better option is GHB. Takes longer to take effect, But once it does, they're going to be out and they're going to not remember anything.
This is after we chloroform. Right.
Yeah. Or we could invite them over somewhere. But then they know it's us. I was going to say we could.
How do we know they didn't tell someone, hey, I'm going over to this house? Because, man, we need to go back to my live link stories, because now I'm thinking, too, like all the times I've been to people's homes, I could have easily been abducted, killed, stabbed, raped, whatever. I had no idea what I was walking into. And at no point did I tell anybody this is what I was doing. I would have disappeared and no one would have been the wiser.
Going on a live links date with so-and-so.
Yeah.
But even then, it's just kind of like, you wouldn't tell somebody, call the police if I'm not back home in 24 hours. Because they're going to think, if I'm not back home in 24 hours, I'm having a good fucking time.
Right. That's what I would tell you. Like, Steve, if you don't see me 24 hours, bro, I'm probably dead or loving it.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're going to laugh, and you're going to joke around. Oh, I haven't seen him 24 hours. And then 72 hours pass. Like, oh, shit. He's probably dead. And by then, they've disposed of my body. I didn't even tell you where I was going. I was just bragging that I was going to get some in the middle of the night. And that was the extent of it.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, if you're already a live linksaholic, you think I'm going to want to pay attention every time you're telling me, hey, I'm going on a live links, I'm going to this address with this name and so on. It's just, I would be like, okay.
Yeah, because I don't want to, for one, in my mind, is like, I don't know what this person looks like. There's already an unspoken social contract what's going to go down. But at least you get a movie out of it. And because I always set it up, where are we at? Oh, we're at an hour and a half, not a minute and a half. I've always set it up, so let's go to a movie, get some dinner or something like that. And then from that point on, we can decide what we're going to do and how it's going to end. And I put the ball in their court. So being a gentleman up front, I'm already in. But at the same time, I still put myself, there was times I would just show up at their house, and we already had that conversation through phones. But that doesn't mean that they're still not, because watching these documentaries, that's why I'm terrified of it now, because I watch all these people that just get baited into stuff and they show up and that's it. And next, you're in a sex cult for 6 months, tied up until you finally cut me up and put me in a barrel.
Yeah. You ever have someone tell you they got a fucking rape fetish?
I dated a person.
It makes me think of like a Louis C.K. skit where this woman wanted to be choked and fucked like she was getting raped, but she didn't tell him that. She just wanted him to do it,
right?
Because if she told him, it's
took no the fun rape. Yeah. We can discuss that at another time as a person. This is so I dated a person. We're already 30 minutes over.
Yeah,
we talk forever. But I have a story of a person that I dated, who was actually on my friends list, so she could be listening at some point. But yeah, we had conversations. That was the first relationship when I discovered that honesty, good or bad in the conversation, leads to bigger things. Because if you're both honest about what you want, you both may be into that stuff, or just different variations, but it opens that door to different types of things. Like, I wasn't comfortable with choking her. That's how it started. And the way she was like, we'd probably been dating for a good couple months. So we were solidified into the relationship. And I wouldn't choke, but I would press on her chest. Because the goal is to remove the ability to breathe. Choking, you start getting the carotid and stuff like that, and being a butcher and stuff, I know where everything is. But also, too, the more excited I would get, I think I would get caught up in the moment. And then like, oops, how would you feel if you accidentally choke somebody? Because the cops don't care that she asked for it.
True.
And there's no proof that she asked for it. And so that's all I can think of. Again, losing my freedom is my biggest fear. That and burning up. I don't want to die by fire. I don't want to lose my fear. I don't want to be locked up. And I'll tell you another story, because I thought I had to kill this girl. The only person I ever thought I really had to kill was her in a moment, because I thought if the situation that she had put me in was going to put me in LA County Jail. And of all county jails, that's the last one you want to be in.
And that was like, I ain't going to county, bitch.
And that's exactly how it was in that moment. Like, fuck, how am I going to dispose of her? You're in that moment like, shit. Because you had that warm, when your blood and everything goes warm. Mm-hmm. There are very rare occasions when that happens, like when the lights go on, the cop behind you.
Yeah, I would really not want to fucking go to LA County.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's a
I talk a good game, but LA County's, that's fucking MS-13. That's the movies we watch on TV. Those people start there.
Yeah, that county's the size of a fucking prison.
Yeah. That's American Me and Miklo and all those guys from Blood In, Blood Out. That's those people. I do not want to go to prison with those people. That's Danny Trejo. Like, I don't want no part of that. It's a scary looking dude. So yeah, like I was in that moment, like, wow, I think I got to kill her. But in that moment, it was clear. That's what I had to do. And then, like, reality set in. And that's what separates the psychopaths and sociopaths from regular people. Because the thought was there. The thought was logical. It made so much sense in that moment, but then all of a sudden, a little voice said, "Nah, bro, just take a step back and just calm down. It'll all work itself out."
Yeah.
But we'll leave it on that. And so I'll write it down on my note here to have that conversation because.
And to find the book.
And find the book. I just got to dig it out of the garage. And so I'll write that down. So I'm just going to write her name and just remember the girl's name. Like, so her name. There's so many stories. That's how I ended up in LA. Was dating her. So sorry for talking too long. And those that are still there, and those that we were 12 minutes late because we thought we were live, but we were not. So that's mainly we're gonna blame Steve. We're gonna blame the man.
Yeah, right.
So
all right. See you guys next week.
Peace out.